Fabian Sinelli here from EYS Auctions, here to bring you our January 2021 market wrap. Now, it's a bit of an interesting month, January, because we don't usually do market wraps, but that's what makes this one so special. We had a lot of auctions for the month of January, which is absolutely fantastic to see. The market is back and back with a vengeance. So, for the month of January in 2021, we conducted 28 auctions. 24 of those auctions were sold under the hammer, pre-auction, or within 3 business days after the auction, meaning we generated a healthy clearance rate of 85%. A couple of interesting stats. The crowd sizes were quite large in January, which means the market is really heating up. And we saw an average of 5.7 bidders per auction conducted in January. So that brings me to a couple of success stories for the month. Our first one goes to Ben Thomas from Ray White Furniture Gully. Now, Ben had 12 auctions conducted in January, and what was spectacular is that he sold 12 out of 12, meaning he generated 100% clearance rate in a non-stereotypically auction-orientated month, which is absolutely phenomenal. So well done to Ben. 12 out of 12 sold within the month of January. Now, our second success story of the month is a little bit different this time round. I'm going to take you back to 5th of December 2020 with our wonderful clients at Harcourt's Wantirna. The address there, number 95 Kidderminster Drive in Wantirna. This auction, great auction, plenty of bidders, fantastic sale price, well above reserve. Happy buyers, happy vendors. But the real success behind this particular story is the video, live streamed at the event. But it's a month later that this particular video has generated over 250,000 views, over 300 comments, over 100 shares, and over 1,100 reacts. It is absolutely phenomenal, and still growing, by the way. I'm actually joined by the Director of Auction Reporters now, Pooven. Pooven, welcome, and thank you so much for joining us on our market wrap.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, and thank you very much for joining us. Now, the fact that this generated so many views and reactions, just to give it some comparison, what is typically the average amount of views an auction would generate?
I think if you were to live stream your auction on Facebook, if you were to get 1,000 views, that's pretty impressive.
1,000? It seems not a lot, doesn't it?
Well, maybe in contrast to this, but if you think about it, right, at a typical auction, you have anywhere between 50 to 75 people attending the auction. So that's your exposure. Yeah. But in this case, you've got up to 20 times more, right? So if you can reach 1,000, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, absolutely, it's impressive. It sort of puts it into context as well, that it's just absolutely exploded. And I'm sure that, you know, obviously there was a lot of things that involved the auction to go so well from an exposure perspective. I mean, is there anything that you took out of it when it was streamed as to why it went so well and why people just kept watching this particular auction?
I'm glad you asked, Fabian. Well, I've been asking myself that question when I started seeing the engagements, you know, just going out of control. And I watched it a few times, and I think it's just very entertaining. You know, when we live stream our auctions, we try to capture it in a way that anyone watching it feels as if they're having the best seat in the house, right? To a certain extent, I feel sometimes it's more exciting than watching it on site. Yeah, but none of that actually matters unless you have competitive bidding.
Well, you know, I'm glad you actually said that, because I mean, I noticed from an auctioneer's perspective, my job is actually, you know, it's easier when I've got the agents that have actually managed to work the floor and go back and forth to all the prospective bidders to get the best out of them and give them an opportunity to keep bidding. So Zoe and the whole team at Harcourt's Wantirna were absolutely phenomenal in playing this particular auction out, and I'm sure you would have seen that as well.
Yeah, I think Zoe did a great job in bringing the bidders to the auction. But on the auction day, you could see from the video that every single agent, you know, was working the bidders and feeding you that bid.
Yeah.
Right? You didn't even have to call your first bid, if you recall.
Don't recall, actually.
Yeah, go watch that video and you'll see what I mean. Yeah, and you know, you had 27 bids in that 10-minute auction, which means you had 2.7 bids every single minute, or every bid came within 22.2 seconds.
It's rapid. That's pretty quick, isn't it?
It is. That just shows that there was momentum in this auction. Another thing that I thought was impressive was how you drove that momentum at the auction with the energy you brought to it. And you know what? I was thinking of how do you measure energy, Fabian? Is it by how loud you shout? How many steps you take?
I don't know. People ask me, I can't answer it.
Well, I was thinking about it, and what I did was I tried to see how many words you spoke per minute. Just to give you context, an average person speaks anywhere between 150 to 170 words per minute. And you, Fabian, you did 257 words per minute.
It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot. So when I was watching the auction, there was no awkward silences. It was intense, and there was a bit of humor every now and then. But more importantly, you were in control of every single bid increment. And just like a perfectly staged play, you kept everyone watching at the edge of their seat throughout the whole auction.
Proven, as the market's heating up, I genuinely believe, and I'm sure you would agree, that live streaming plays a huge role in auctions. Can you tell us about the importance of live streaming in this market?
Yeah, sure. Well, the first question you've got to ask yourself is, why are you live streaming? If you do not have the bidders, you want to be able to live stream so that people can participate with your auction. But if you've got all the bidders lined up in this hot market, what you really want is exposure on that great auction. And that's where we come in, right? We help you put your auction in front of more people on Facebook and on YouTube.
A big thanks to Proven for joining us for our market wrap. Proven, thank you so much. How can the viewers get in touch with you?
Well, I am on Facebook and on YouTube, so you can search Auction Reporters on any of those platforms. But you can also email me at proven@auctionreporters.com.au.
Thanks again, Proven. Wow, it was truly a remarkable story. Once again, thank you so much to Proven for joining us on that crazy auction that was conducted late last year. Now, it would not be a market wrap without a hot tip. So, our hot tip of the month would be this. The market is certainly heating up. So, as the market heats up, it is absolutely paramount to get your advertised price right. How do you do this? Allow a few extra days before launching your property to get some VIP buyer feedback to ensure the moment your property is launched from day one, you have your advertised price range perfectly aligned with the marketplace. This will ensure that the momentum you carry over the 3 or 4 week campaign is going to lead to a successful result. We want to take this opportunity to thank all our clients for their ongoing support, even in the back half of 2020, obviously post-COVID and post-lockdown. We feel it's going to be an amazing year in 2021. Auction numbers are starting to come through, results are starting to show, crowds are up, average bidders are up. Let's get excited. Thank you once again to our clients, and we look forward to providing you with world-class service for the remainder of the year.